Hey everybody, Nelson, alcoholic addict. That's not my real name. I use a pseudonym here at LOL Sober. As I record this, I am sitting in a hotel room by myself. It's my second trip from home in almost a year and a half. And I'm by myself, and I'll be honest, the idea of alone time has always been very exciting to me. And a year and a half of being cooped up in the living room during a pandemic cage match with my family every day, it did not diminish my desire to get some time to myself. And so that sounds pretty normal, right? Well, not for me. I have a complicated relationship with alone time. I love it. I absolutely love feeling free to do whatever the heck I want. If I want to go to a meeting, if I want to meditate, sleep in, lift weights, stare at a wall and think about next year's NFL draft, I can do it, whatever I want. And that's beautiful, right? Well, there's such a thin line for me between solitude and isolation. I am not somebody who can sit in a hotel room by himself for very long before I'm unplugging entirely from anything that is spiritually nourishing. And that is a bad thing. As I sit here, even 6 hours in, I'm watching mindless TV, and I can see bags of gummy bears and dirty socks just strewn across this hotel room. And, give me another few days, and it would look like a flop house in here. So luckily, I'm heading back to my family and my house tomorrow morning. I experienced this quite a bit from about 2015 to 2019. Every summer during that stretch, my wife would pack up the kids and drive around the East Coast visiting family. I would stay behind because of my work schedule. And I'll be honest, I counted down the freaking days every year. I couldn't wait to get them out the door and have some solo time to myself. And I had big plans. I was going to get the meetings and go out to dinner with guys from the program. If I needed to stay late at the office, I would. I was going to clean out the garage, weed the garden. Yeah, I did none of that. Absolutely none of that. I sat in a chair and I ate Cool Ranch Doritos for breakfast and Cocoa Pebbles for lunch while I binge watched TV, watched sports. I kept saying, I'll get to a meeting the next day. And, within 36 hours, I was shirtless in my recliner, blinds drawn, eating horribly, just banging out TV in a dark living room. And, if that sounds like an active addict's living room, that's how it felt. That's certainly what my life was like when I was actually drinking and drugging. I didn't drink and drug during this time period, but boy, it just felt similarly. And that sounds crazy, right? Why would you do that? But I gotta be honest, a part of me likes that, even when it gets a little uncomfortable. The idea of being selfish and non-spiritual and doing whatever I want, whenever I want, without any repercussions, part of me likes that. And so the good news is my sober time has taught me that there's about a 48-hour maximum on how long I can do that until I have no choice but to plug back in. The pain starts to build up a little bit. So for the first 4 years, my wife did that with the kids. I would always limp into a meeting on about day 3 or 4. I would be caked in gross food, and I would reek of Liam Neeson revenge shoot-'em-up movies. But I'd get back on track. And that was isolation, not solitude. And I can't do that. For that 5th year, I vowed I'm going to do it different this year. And I did. I mean, did I still load up the car with an over-the-top amount of glee as I warmed up the van to get everybody out of the house and on the road? Yes, I did. It was July, 95 degrees. I'm warming up the van for some reason because I couldn't wait for this time to myself. And I'm willing to admit that. And that 5th year, I went to, I think, 9 meetings in 7 days. I probably made 25 to 30 phone calls to sober people, and I dialed it down a little bit on slamming Netflix and Diet Coke and Taco Bell, and I managed to find solitude. It was a nice balance of the spiritual with a little bit of junk food on the side for sure, and it was a beautiful week. So it was a good reminder as I sit here in my hotel room that to put it in caveman terms, isolation bad, solitude good. So I'm going to try to stick with solitude today. Thanks for letting me share.